Murdoch
I'll play one more
had
with
issues with him. Could have been over Dominion. Might have been over his private statements. Might have been personal. People forget.
Higher rated players, though.
People have personal issues with other people, but he's gone. My mother is doesn't know what's going on. My mother's in a mental institution and loves Tucker. Loves Tucker. And I'm not saying all his fans are in a I'm not trying to say that. But my mother is so distraught over this. She doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know Rupert Murdoch, why he would fire him. My mother suspects it has to do with his Chinese wife. Is Murdoch's wife Chinese? She used to be, right?
I think she is.
Because my mother's not up on his new wife, but my mother goes, I think Rupert Murdoch, she goes, he's with a Chinese person, correct?
Chinese born, yeah.
And I said, yeah. She goes, well, that's what we have. We got a problem. I mean, now, of course, this isn't, Rupert Murdoch is no longer with that person, but this was my mother's idea about perhaps what had gone wrong. But listen, Tucker, we welcome Tucker to the internet. I'm sure he will be able to go and do whatever he wants, but the Murdochs have him under a contract.
What's the point?
I don't know, a contract where he's still technically on.
Now he's losing a
paying
piece.
him. It might limit
that's
what he can do.
That's
He's got a lawyer
bro.
now. One of my favorite things about getting a box of Awesome from Bespoke Post every month is how it sneaks up on you. You forget that it's coming, and then boom, one day it's there, and you get all kinds of cool stuff. You can take a quiz. Who are you into? What are you about? Are you a camper? Do you like you're an outdoorsman? Are you a bartender? You like mixology? What are you into? Do you like cooking in the wilderness? Are you a traveling man? Do you need some grooming products? All of this can be available in your box of Awesome, from camping gear to cookout must-haves to drink game upgrades. Box of Awesome. I mean, you know who this is great for? It's for everybody. Number one, it's for everyone. It's for every person that's alive on Earth. But also, somebody's going away to college. This is it. This is actually the gift. If your son or daughter, or whoever else, is going away to college, this is the thing you get them. They get a box every month. I'm telling you, they go nuts. They go fucking nuts about it. They go nuts.
That's an L, bro.
I took a quiz.
How many pieces
and
do
the
you
box
want to give
I
me?
got,
How many pieces do you want to give me?
I took a quiz, and because what the quiz is the quiz is, it's supposed to be like, what are you into, and what's going to get you excited? Okay, I took a quiz from Box of Awesome.
Back. That's fine.
They send me a box back. I open it up. And it has its pancake mix and Derek Chauvin's badge. How do they know me? How do they know me? Like, I don't know how they know it.
Jesus.
Boxofawesome.com. Enter the code Tim Dillon at checkout.
Look,
Boxofawesome.com. Tim Dillon, 20% off your first box. Boxofawesome.com. Code Tim Dillon. All right, now this is sad, and this is, we've always tried to handle this issue with tact on this show because a lot of people don't. I don't want to live in a right-wing Christian theocracy. This is not what I want to live in. Here's what I also don't want. What I don't want is children, using puberty-blocking hormones or having surgery, and then possibly later in life really regretting that, or saying, you know what, I never knew what could have been because I made these choices when I was very young. There seems to be a rush that children that are trans or feeling like they are trans and have some type of dysphoria potentially are being rushed into operating rooms, or they're being rushed into doctors' offices, gender reassignment clinics and stuff like that. I do think that there's it's a little bit of a rush. It's a rush. I've always come from the perspective of when you're 18, you can do whatever you want. Within reason. If we can ship you off to war, if you can vote, if you can do all of these things, you should be able to change your gender if you like. This is really sad, though, because this was an 18-year-old, and unfortunately, stuff happens even at that age, because now I agree that this person should have been allowed to do this.
Here.
But this is a tragic death. One of the participants in a Dutch study
That was up. Unbelievable.
It's really sad. 18-year-old trans identified male whose puberty was blocked by the Dutch researchers at a very early stage, meaning there wasn't enough penile tissue for surgeons to use to create the new vagina. Therefore, a more risky procedure using a section of the patient's bowel was necessary, which resulted in necrotizing fasciitis, which is a flesh-eating bacteria. And by the way, and I'm not trying to take a side here in the culture war, but this is the plot of Frozen 3. And I don't understand why. Because the plot of Frozen 3 is about someone who sadly, tragically dies because their bowel vagina got diseased.
No!